Hello to all my wonderful friends out there in YouTube land, and thanks for joining me. This is Do What You Gotta Do. We're going to be a chia seed and nut-based cracker, and I'm going to go through that process with you. I'm going to put you on pause for a while I go ahead and prep things. You don't need to see me cracking nuts and stuff like that, so no pun intended. But I'll bring it back whenever I'm starting to put all the ingredients together and show you how I do it. Okay, I went ahead and prepped all my products. I prepped the, crushed the nuts up and got all my spices and mixes together and things like that. I'm going to put you on hold here for just a quick second and I'm going to show you what I have. Okay, so the ingredients for this recipe is I got flaxseed meal, chia seeds, pecan halves that I crushed up, and this is a half cup of everything. So half cup of pecans crushed, half cup of sunflower seeds, and a half cup of almond meal. I also have a spice mix here, which is this Tuscan garlic. Really good stuff. I like it. Got everything I would put in it if I was doing it from individuals. So it's all in one thing, made by Tones. And water, and not a specific amount of water. You're going to mix it as you kind of however you want it to be able to congeal together with the what comes out of the chia seeds, the gel that comes out of those. They will congeal together, and then we'll roll them out. I also have parchment paper and a cookie sheet, a mixing bowl, and a spatula. And that's pretty much everything you're going to need to make this recipe. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of magic involved here other than the magic of the chia seed and what it does and how it produces some kind of gel. I don't know how it works. But anyway, it pulls everything together real nicely and gives you an adhesive product that holds all this together, and the crackers turn out really good. So there's not a whole lot involved. All you do is you take the products, put them all in the mixing bowl. And again, this was a half cup of everything. Other than the spices, that was a 1 full tablespoon. So I grab it and I take it and mix it all together, just make sure everything's kind of uniform throughout the mixture before I start adding the water. And once I add the water, I let it sit for a little bit. Let me add the water until I get it to the consistency that I want it to. There's about half of that mug right there, little mason jar mug. I like my mason jar mugs. I use them a lot. Pretty much the only thing I drink out of. You know, my wife's got really nice glasses and wine glasses and stuff like that that were pretty expensive, and you know, I go for my old standard, my mason jar mug, or just a standard mason jar that I have left lying around because I do some canning and things of that nature. All right, so once I get stuff mixed together with the fork, I go ahead and take my spatula and just kind of work this down so that I know that all the products that are in here are spread out pretty equally, and the chia seeds are mingling in with everything, because that's the key to this, to holding it all together, is the chia seeds. And again, you can add anything you want in here. I've done this with pine nuts. Pine nuts were really good in here. That was a nice addition to the mixture. But you know, you walk down the baking aisle of any grocery store, Walmart's where I got all my stuff at, and you walk through the baking aisle and pick up whatever you like. There's already nuts that are crushed and ready for baking products, and pick out what you like. You know, walnuts, macadamia nuts if you want to buy macadamia nuts, pecans, pine nuts, you name it. Sunflower seeds, they're all there. So actually that turned out pretty good. You can see it's nice, kind of got a gel going to it there. You don't want it real thick because you got to roll it out on the parchment paper. And I use 2 pieces of parchment paper. You put down this glob in the middle of the pan, put a piece of parchment paper over top of it, and then you'll spread it out. I want to let this sit for a while and let that chia produce its gel that it produces. And then I'll bring you back and we'll go from there. I should say, if you can take a pinch of this and taste it, see how you like it. And you can adjust your spices at this time. Mine are pretty good. I like it that way. And again, that Tuscan garlic blend, it's already pre-mixed, just Italian spices. That's the way I like them. I like my crackers kind of savory. You can do whatever you want. If you want to put sage in there or something of that nature, you know, whatever floats your boat. This just happens to be the way I do it. And I'm no chef or anything like that. I'm just a regular guy doing what I got to do. Okay, people. So welcome back. I went ahead and let this rest for about 30 minutes or so. There's a lot of thirsty products in there, so I went ahead and added a little bit more water to it. You know, the almond flour meal soaks up water, the chia soaks up water, there's salt in the spice mix, so all those things draw up the moisture. So I went ahead and added a little bit more water to the mix. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this on the parchment paper. So you see the parchment paper over top of it and a rolling pin. Real simple. And I've already preheated my oven to 300 degrees. And just really all you're doing is drying the product out. You're not really baking it, I don't think. I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not really a chef or anything, but it seems to work for me. So I just put this down, give it a mash, got myself a rolling pin, and I'm going to spread it out. I like to get it about a 1/4 inch thick or so. So let me go ahead and pause you for a minute while I get this all spread out with a rolling pin. I don't think anyone really needs to watch me do this. See you in a few. Okay folks, welcome back. So you can see I got my product all spread out here, my nut mix and nut and seed mix. And then what I like to do is I will take usually a knife or a spatula, something like this, and I'll just score it. So whenever it's done and comes out of the oven, you can break it apart into pieces. And they'll, you know, they'll hold shape. They'll fracture right along the line that you put in there, and they make nice little crackers. I like them. They, you know, it's an alternative to tortilla chip or anything else. You want to put a little cream cheese on there and some salmon. That's a nice snack. You know, I got to tell you, I enjoy it. So, smoked salmon. I got a smoker outside. You know, we'll go to Sam's Club or whatever and buy a big old slab of salmon. I'll put some dry rub on it, and then I'll stick it in a smoker for about 2 hours and get some good flavor in it. And then, man, that's awesome. You should give that a try sometime. Maybe I'll do a video on that and show you how to do it. And again, you know, I'm just a guy that works in a steel mill, and but I love to eat. And since I love to eat, and I, you know, like to eat good food, I like, you know, I learned how to cook. So, and I learned by watching a lot of it on YouTube, and a lot of you people out there on YouTube, I feel like are my friends, and we never even met. You know, there's so many of you out there. You know, old Chef Buck, crazy cat somewhere. I don't know where even Chef Buck lives at, but he does some cool videos. Headbanger's Kitchen, Laura Vitale. There's Keto Connection, I think, and they do all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the oven, already preheated at 300 degrees. I'm going to let it sit in there for, it's probably going to be about an hour at that temperature. You really want to get the moisture out of it so that so that they're nice and crispy. But I'll get back to you and I'll let you know. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay guys, welcome back to my kitchen. As you can tell, I took my keto crackers out of the oven. They were in there at 300 degrees for about 55 minutes. So, you know, timeline on how long it takes to make yours, if you're going to do them, really depends on how much water you use, I guess, because you got to get the liquid out. But anyway, just check it out. You can see how I scored them, and they just break apart real nice. They break right on that line. You know, I'll go ahead and I'll break these apart, store them in a Tupperware. They keep for, I don't even know how long, man. I've never had them last long enough for them to go bad on me. But anyway, give my recipe a try. I think you'll like it. Like I said, man, it's excellent for cream cheese or anything else. You know, your substitution for any kind of wheat-based cracker. You know, if you're gluten-free, if you want to go keto and you want to, you know, get the protein and the low carbs, this is about it, man. This is perfect. So I really love it. Tastes great, and it's a fantastic way to get that cream cheese, butter, peanut butter, whatever you're eating into you. Y'all have a great day.